5-2 road trip. Just how you guys feeling coming off of that, and what's kind of the sense of accomplishment for you?
I mean, it's definitely a good road trip. Obviously, you know, we wish we could have that last game back, but I mean, games like those happen. But at the end of the day, it was definitely a successful road trip. Being on the road for 2 weeks and being able to do what we did is not easy.
Does it kind of, I don't know, reemphasize beliefs in this team, or is there anything you guys kind of learned out of that trip and seeing the way you responded to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were able to respond after Miami. I think, I mean, and also winning our first back-to-back game, I think, of the season. So we definitely responded well. But like I said, being on the road for that long and playing that many games is not an easy task. And I think we did a pretty good job. Obviously, we wish we finished the road trip better, but we try to make up for that now.
What do you think y'all learned from that Chicago Bulls game, surrendering that 30-point, then eventually pulling it out?
Yeah, I mean, when we have to learn to be able to put our foot on people's necks. Obviously, being able to, I mean, we were up 19 coming out of the half, and then we go on a run to start the quarter, and then they responded well. But I think for us to be able to finish out that game is definitely good for us. But you'd much rather not be in that situation.
What does that look like? Kind of like putting your foot on somebody's neck?
I mean, once we got up 28, I think we turned the ball over like 4 of the next 5 possessions. Like, we have to be able to continue to execute, continue to play the same way that we were playing. Like, you don't want to slow down or anything like that, but we can't get, you know, lackadaisical with the ball just because we're up by that much.
Does it show something about, I don't know, the growth of the team or maturity of this team, or maybe just the overall talent, where you can experience something like that but still hold on for a victory and still be able to pull a game like that out?
I mean, I think we've done it before. I mean, you know, we've always talked about us getting up 20 and then losing that lead, but I think we've won a lot of those games that we still gave up that lead. But I think the growth will be seen if we can go up by 20 and then go up by 30 and then keep it there or continue to increase that lead. I think that's when growth will be seen.
Yeah.
Luke shared before last game that he's kind of been challenging you defensively, get more deflections and stuff like that. What does that mean to have somebody that's like pushing you like that, and how do you feel like you've been doing?
It's big. I mean, obviously Mike preaches defense, so you know, all 5 guys on the court need to be connected in that end. But for me, it's just trying to be disruptive, do whatever I can to disrupt the flow of an offense. And right now, it's been getting into the ball, getting deflections, or if I'm not on the ball, just being able to stay locked in.
That like pull the chair, reach around, steal. Have you had that for a while, or is that something this year?
I do it. I've always done it a lot because I've picked up the ball, and when people spin, that's when I usually get it. But I've guarded the post probably a little bit more than I have in the past, and I think it's definitely happened a lot. It's funny, when we were playing Dallas and Luka started posting me up, and their whole bench is screaming that I'm gonna pull the chair and go for it. So it's definitely something that is probably on the scouting report now.
You guys, I'm going to say that too, because have you been paying attention, watching other teams' scouting reports, because it seems like you know what to do and how to get those deflections and those steals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure on scouting reports, like, I'm a steals threat. I'm somebody that gets in passing lanes, or I feel like most of my steals are actually on the ball rather than off the ball, like a lot of other people's. So whenever I'm pressuring the ball, like, you can hear the benches. There's definitely a respect level when I'm guarding the ball, for sure.
I know we haven't, you guys have been gone for a while, but I know you don't give a damn about going to the All-Star game and all that. But what was more surprising, the fact that you didn't hear your name called, or the fact that Domas didn't?
The fact that Domas did. I mean, I think every MVP tracker, he's in the top 10. So if you look at all of those, I think he's the only guy in the top 10 of an MVP tracker that's not an All-Star. So that's definitely more surprising, for sure.
And from that standpoint, does that kind of bother you?
No, nothing bothers me. Nothing outside of myself bothers me.
Yeah, and I mean, just will it be a benefit for this team? I mean, that sounds like a stupid question, but just
I mean, I think the NBA should not be all-inclusive. And when I say this, I mean just how the NFL does Pro Bowls in only warm, nice places.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Indiana is not nice, but like,
oh, we get it.
No one wants to be in a cold place. No one wants to be in a cold place for All-Star.
I'll editorialize that. Indiana is not nice.
I think guys would complain less taking a 5-hour flight from California to Hawaii than they are going to cold places for All-Star. So I don't know how many people are complaining about not making an All-Star team when it's in a cold place.
But don't you think that, you know, that's kind of like, you know, disrespectful to, you know, the organizations, you know, to the Sacramento fans, to the city, you know, when there's not a representative from Sacramento, when you guys got to win a record?
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, being 9 games, we're 9 games over 500 right now, sitting in 5th, I think top 10 in the NBA. You have a guy who's almost averaging a triple double. Like I don't know how. I don't know how they look at that and think it's okay, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think a big thing, because I know Domas has an incentive for it, and I think Jaylen Brown might have had an incentive last year. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he has one this year too. But, like, I don't have an incentive, so that's all the more for me not to really give a fuck what they do. But that's guys losing out on money who should 1,000% be there, and, I mean, that is what it is. So, we can't do anything about it now.
Cool.